everyone, thanks for stopping by. I'm Kara Elizabeth, a 3-5 emotional manifestor, here to provide you with your weekly energetic weather report via human design, a system that combines aspects of astrology, the I Ching, the chakra system, and the Kabbalistic tree of life. Now, every human design journey begins with looking up your unique human design chart, and you can do that at www.myhumandesign.com. Transits are the specific energies that are present in the universe at any given moment. I go over the sun and earth, the sun being our main experience and the earth being how we're grounding in it. And each transit tends to hang around for about 6 days. Now, my goal is to provide you with a general cosmic heads up on how you can expect to feel, what you can expect to experience, and how to best navigate your week. So if you're ready to go, let's get started. All right, you guys, it is that time of the week again. The transits have officially shifted. So this week we are staying on trend with transiting the throat and the root centers. Yes, we are still here. We haven't left just yet. So let's just keep continuing getting cozy here, being open to having experiences, gaining, learning all of the wisdom that we can. And let's make the most of it while we're here. So this week, the sun is going to be transiting through the throat. So our main theme experience is going to still be focused on communication. We are in gate 31. This is the gate of influential energy, aka the influencer. And the earth is going to be transiting gate 41, which is all about seeing future potential possibilities, opportunities, etc. So this is the one that's coming out of the root center, also the energy that we're going to be grounding in. So let's go ahead and just get down to business, shall we? Yes, we shall. So gate 31, this is going to be bringing us all the ability to effortlessly influence people around us. So this is where we're all going to have a certainty in the way that we're speaking, and we're going to be projecting out an air that makes other people want to listen to us, do what we do, or try the things that we are recommending. So now you see why I call this the influencer. So it's exactly what we're being without even trying. Okay, that's the important part. You're just being yourself, being your true, authentic self, speaking and communicating authentically what it is that you love, and you're just going to automatically influence other people, and they're going to want to know more. So, anyways, we are going to come across as very strong, self-assured people, which is also going to make other people feel more drawn to us. So this is going to go for me, you, and the rest of humanity for the next 5 days or so. All right, let's continue. So in whatever role or roles you may find yourself in this week, you're going to find that people want to follow you in some way, shape, or form. They are going to start coming to you for recommendations or suggestions because they're going to trust your preferences. This is why it's so important to do this in the most authentic way, okay? Because you're going to want to create authentic connections, and you're going to want people to be drawn to you for the right reasons. So this gift is going to play a huge part in your purpose on this earth for the next 5 days. And it's going to require you to not follow society, but to become someone that society wants to follow. And I do have to say, side note, I did feel this energy shift last night, this morning, and I felt it in a huge way. So I'd be really curious as to what your experiences are with this, and like if you felt the shift last night like I did. So anyways, like I just woke up this morning with almost like this renewed sense of self, of just like, I'm talking like this thought happened in probably like a split second, but there was so much information contained here for me. So I woke up with just seeing like, wait a minute. Like, when the hell did I just become so shy? Like, when did I become so worried about what other people thought about me? And just, like all of this, like, et cetera, like, when when basically did I start acting like my not self? Like when did I start hiding myself away? And I really couldn't answer that question. Because I really don't know. There's no specific moment that it happened. I feel like it just kind of gradually happened over time where, I just started wanting to hide myself away. And anyways, so this morning I just woke up with just this surge of energy and this huge boost in confidence of just really just wanting to share myself with the world and just have no fear, just no anything about it. Just really putting myself back out there for the world to see and getting back to that girl who literally gave zero fucks about it. And I feel especially the internet, it's a super judgy place, and maybe over time that's where it came from. I mean, I think it was probably other things too, but anyways, it's you just see anybody, you could put out the most wholesome content on the planet. You could just throw the most innocent little video up there and somebody would critique the shit out of you and just make you feel like crap. So, anyways, we have a lot of that going on, and I feel like this energy is exactly what we need. Just in my opinion, in my little humble opinion, I feel like this is just exactly what humanity needs. Keep doing it and don't give no fucks about what anyone says. Okay? All right, so now that we have a little story time out the way, let's go ahead and just dive on in to see how we can flex this energy and make the most of it while we're here. So first things first is by letting yourself like what you like and letting yourself dislike what you dislike too. That's important. Okay. Get really into the things that grab your interest. Yeah, go ahead and give yourself permission to just go down the rabbit hole this week. Start owning your likes as well as your dislikes. Because since you're meant to be an influential person, and I say you by meaning you, me, and the rest of humanity right now, we're all meant to be influential people right now. You cannot allow your personal interests to be dictated by what most people are into. You will affect the status quo, yes, not the other way around. So be original, be true to you, and allow yourself to like the things that you like. It's all for a reason. So the more you can become your own person, self-assured and self-directed, the stronger you'll become as a force in the world. Second way to flex this gift is to be unafraid to show your strength. So somehow, over the years as a society, and this is probably where a lot of the fear comes from, for me, is that we've come to believe that influential or powerful people are better than people who are not. And the people who we think are not, they actually are. Everybody influences somebody in their lives, okay? It's just something that we do. And I really don't believe that anybody is more powerful than anybody else in this case. But I digress. Let's continue. So for as long as our mentality accepts these beliefs, that's what energy people will feel behind our actions, is that we're better than them. And so they're going to automatically be judgy and blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's where the judgment comes from online. Who the fuck knows? It's not personal, but it is personal for that person that's commenting. So keep that in mind. You tell on yourself when you say ugly shit to people on the internet. You tell other people exactly who you are and what you're going through and what you're dealing with. And quite honestly, it's pretty disheartening to watch. The world is suffering. And it's just a terrible thing, but it just is what it is. So maybe this energy will help us release ourselves from the depths of hell and suffering. And oh my God, I just felt like a Baptist preacher there for a second. Let me shift out of that. Okay, back to it. So, yes, there are influential people who misuse their ability. Okay, I'm not even going to say a word on that. But don't be afraid to embrace this power of yours, because you can do it in a good and kind way. You can do it with grace and with the intention of serving. So sometimes these societal beliefs make us shy away from showing up as being our self-assured selves. Or it can make us exert it disproportionately. Being unafraid to show your strength is simply letting it come out of you without trying to make it be anything other than what it is. So own what you are sure of. And when you do, you become a beacon for others to find their own strength too. So I love this because it comes, right on the ass end of last week's transit, like all other transits. It's just like a continuation of the last one. And like the last one was all about inner truth, finding what is true for us, and also like going within so that we can even tap into that, right? Like we have to quiet our environments and quiet our minds so that we can even tap into ourselves and know that truth. And I feel like this just plays on that so well. So it's like we found our truth last week, or at least took a step in the right direction to finding it. And then this week, we're sharing it in whatever way we feel called to share it, whatever form we feel called to share it with other people. And our truth is now going to be our impact. So, continue. Being influential does not mean being better than others. It just means that you've been put in charge of bringing things to people's attention. And it is a huge responsibility, though, because you have to make sure that you do it with integrity, thinking and speaking and being only the things that are the highest standard that you can at the time. So it is a position of power to that extent, but it just doesn't make you more powerful than others. And sometimes this can trip people up because they can misuse this influence, or they can shy away from embracing their influential nature because they believe that they'd alienate or threaten other people if they were in their full power. But neither one of these is true. Embrace your influence with a consciousness of doing it to serve others. And now, going back to the story that I shared earlier, I feel that I was more along the lines of shying away from embracing my influential nature because, of course, like if you've been listening to me for any amount of time, and then also, you know my name, Manifestor Kara, I'm a manifestor in human design. It's kind of my job to influence other people, and it's kind of my job to make an impact, especially with my voice. So, and the things that I do and the things that I say, like I am meant to be observed. All right, let's put it that way. And I shine away from that quite a bit because somewhere down the line, I just got so tired of like people hating me for no reason and for people judging me for no reason. And, all of this like, woe is me type of shit that I was going through, to the point where like, I just didn't really want to share myself with anybody, and it was, I started telling this story of like, well, I feel like I come across as I'm sharing a lot of information about myself, but I'm not really. Like, it's all very like calculated in what I share. Like, I only share things that I want you to know. And I don't share like all aspects of myself. I only let people see what I want them to see. And that was all out of this fear of being, rejected and judged and yada, yada, yada. Like somehow I picked that up somewhere. And I was just reminded very gracefully this morning that that's not me. Like, that's not me. The Kara that I am is completely fearless and puts herself out there and does what she wants, shares what she likes, is kind and loving and fun and playful and curious and all of these things. And I'm really depriving the world of, I feel like, a really dope ass person. Not to like toot my own horn, but I'm tooting that shit. So, anyways, let's just move into what can block us here. So where can we find ourselves struggling in this transit right now? And that is by doing things with the intention of influencing others. So since this gift is effortless, it can't be planned out. So your influence actually becomes less powerful when you do things and say things for a given effect or result. So say it once, I'll say it again. You are going to influence people by being your authentic self without even trying. Okay, so there's like literally nothing that you need to do this week other than be yourself and speak from your heart. Okay, that's it. Now, let's go ahead and move into our Earth transit, which again is gate 41. It's all about seeing future possibilities. And this is coming out of the root center. So this is where we're grounding in. So take note of that. So these people, which is going to be all of us, have a special skill of seeing future possibilities. Their brains are like supercomputers that can see every possible outcome from a situation. So when something arises, they can effortlessly see all of the potential scenarios in about 2 split seconds. So this ability is like an instant download. So you see things before you've even had time to make sense of them. They are often seen to have wild imaginations or big visions, which isn't really wild at all, because it comes from the fact that they can see the full scope of what the near future could be. Most of us have a much more limited scope in what we see that could happen. But this week, we're all going to be able to tap into this juicy energy, and we're going to be able to see all the things that could happen where maybe normally we can't. So on a deeper level, we are going to be connected to the energy field where all creative expression exists. And we are here to bring outside the box things into the physical world. Ooh, so do you see where we're being so supported here in our main experience of the sign this week? Oh, I do. All right, in this field, all possible outcomes from any situation exist, which is going to give us the ability to see every possible way that something could unfold in our own lives and as well as the wider world. We are going to be cause and effect masters here. So whenever you feel unconnected to your creative thinking, a repetitive activity that triggers your brain into motion will always bring you back. This could be doodling, making notes, cooking, writing, etc. It doesn't have to be super artistic and professional, although it can be. It just has to be something that helps you singularly focus and slow down your thoughts. So we are also going to feel a little bit impulsive, and we could find ourselves yearning for that something new that will make us feel more alive. Though sometimes we don't necessarily know what that thing is going to be. So we are going to often have an itch and can live for this certain thing that we believe is going to change our whole lives when it happens, which can in turn make us feel restless, even if it's just a low-level background kind of restless. Ooh, I've been feeling this. For real, for real, for real. I have also been feeling the energy like I'm on the edge of my seat. You know, it's like that feeling like something big is going to happen, but you don't necessarily know what, and you don't know how. So if you're feeling that, let me know in the comments. Love to know your experience. So, how can we make the most out of this energy? And the first thing is by acting on what you see. So this gift is a guidance from the universe showing you what to do next. So if you can conceive of some new creative offering, that's going to be a sign that you're meant to be the one that creates it. If you can see an outcome that no one else can see, hold strong to it and know that it's possible. shoot for it. If you see a potential and you don't strive to make it real, you're going to get caught up too much in the world of ideas, which will cause excessive worry and thinking without achieving to the same heights you desire. Okay, so this also reminds me of this, whatever you want to call it, like this vision that I had, this morning when the transit shifted. It's like I had this vision of myself and who I actually am. Okay. And like I said, it happened very quickly. And it is like almost exactly how it's described here, like an instant download of information. And it was a shit ton of information. But anyways, it just showed me it doesn't really matter how I got disconnected from myself, but somewhere along the way I got disconnected from myself. And so ultimately I got shown a vision this morning of basically who I am to my core, who I used to be, situations that I've been in the past, and how I operated in those situations versus how I would operate in them now. And it just showed me the potential for who I am and who I need to strive to become again, because it's yes, that was past me. And so it's not to say not release all of the lessons and knowledge that I've gained since then, but bring all of that information that I've learned since then into the present moment and become almost this super version of myself. So I don't even know if I explained that right, but I tried. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's in my head. It's a vision for me that was shown to me, and I'm going to try my best to live up to that potential of the version of myself that I saw. So, second thing of how we can flex this gift, that is by having patience and understanding for people who don't see the vision the way you do. All right. So there would be no use in everyone having the same skills. Inevitably, there will be a lag between you seeing something and others seeing it, which can be frustrating, I know, but you have to fight that at every turn and just know that you don't have to force them to get it. You just have to have such a strong faith in the unseen before it's made manifest. And that certainty is what will get others to see it the quickest too. Now, where can we struggle in this energy and struggle to ground? That is, the first thing is by striking the balance between living in the world of potentials and also living in the present moment. So, and I know a lot of us can do this. I myself am guilty. So, don't let your ability to see all potentials draw you away from appreciating what is in front of you today. They can get stuck in always feeling like something's incomplete because they know that there is always more to be brought into the world. And by they, I mean you, me, and the rest of us. But don't mistake that as being your current life not being satisfying enough. Don't let it rob you of seeing the joy that's right in front of you. Let it fuel your ass. Okay, that's my 2 cents. Last but not least, where can we struggle? And that is by letting the fact that there's always more make you feel like you're in lack. So when this gift is used incorrectly, you're going to feel like someone else's life is always better than yours. You can have chronic thoughts of they've got it better than I have, or my life would be so much better if I did or experienced this. But the more thoughts you have like this, the more you're going to drain your own ability to manifest your great potential. So don't let those illusions pull you off your path. There is always more for everybody, and your duty is to bring in whatever is meant for you. Okay, folks, that is transit. Please comment and let me know what your experience is this week, because of course, we are all very different and unique individuals, and so we're each going to have a very different and unique experience in these energies. So, super curious as to how this shows up for you. Also, if you are desiring to work with me on any sort of level outside of this podcast, please look in the details / description of this post, and you will find any and every way, shape, or form to work with me and get into contact with me. So with that being said, that is your transit, and I will see you next week.